So, because you missed us so much Saturday, it's Dion and Anthony with ECSports. How's everybody? Good. So we're going to talk about sports. So today we're going to talk about, I'm sure if you have a phone or the internet, Phil Jackson, he left, or they mutually parted. Fuck out of here. And Bryce Harper apparently wants to come to the north side. So we'll see what happens with that. And then CP3 got traded, and we'll talk about that as well. What do you got? This guy with the hair, man. Freaking this guy, man. Go ahead.
You don't like the hair, man?
No, it's good. It's good.
Phil Jack, man. Phil Jack. So glad he's gone. I got
Really?
strong opinions on Phil Jackson, but
Okay.
I mean, we could get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it now. So basically what happened was this. Phil Jackson took over for New York about 4 years ago. What people don't realize is, I guess a lot of people don't watch, what's that show with Brian Gumbel on HBO? Real Sports.
Real Sports with Brian
He did
Gumbel.
an interview. Brian Gumbel specifically asked him, because this is right after the Lakers screwed him,
Right.
would you coach the Knicks? And he pretty much, in a nice way, said, no, the Knicks are terrible. I won't freaking coach you. He just said coach. Then they talked about going to the job that he has, and he still said no. So apparently, the rumor has it in the NBA circles, which, we're in now, that he never wanted the job, but pretty much Dolan stayed on him and said, I'll give you whatever you want. Phil Jackson's not an idiot, so he took the money. He had no clue what he was doing.
Right.
Obviously, everybody saw that.
And of course, he didn't want the job because this is why I don't like Phil Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his fault, really, but okay.
My shirt or his? I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So he's got this image that he's an amazing coach, and I just don't see it.
Why?
And the thing is that the reason he didn't take this job is because it would be detrimental to his coaching career
Okay.
as a coach, right?
Oh, you mean the coaching job?
Right, because who the hell wants to take a coaching job with a bad team when you got to coach Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Kobe, Shaq, and then who you're going to coach?
True.
I mean, you go from winning, nothing but winning, especially nothing but winning, but you coach all the greats, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, are you a good coach, or do you just coach the best guys? Because here's the thing. Here's my problem with the NBA. This is a huge problem that I have. My problem is this. Bill Belichick is a great coach, right?
Okay.
Tyrone Lue is not a great coach,
Okay.
but he's won the finals, and he's been to the finals. David Blatt went to the finals. Okay? There's so many guys in the NBA that can coach based on talent.
True.
You know what I mean? Whereas it's way different than in other sports.
Okay.
I feel like it's way different. And that's my whole thing with Phil Jackson is I don't know if he's a great coach or if he just coached amazing players.
All right, my question is this to you. Why do people forget that Phil Jackson inherited the same team as the so-called great analyst Doug Collins? He inherited the exact same team. Why couldn't Doug Collins take him?
He inherited the team in what, 89? 89.
And the Bulls went to the finals when?
In 89?
No,
No, 90.
90-91.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So, answer that.
Okay, well, I wasn't around in that era, obviously.
Oh, no, all I'm you really don't have to be around in the era. It's just like
But
saying
I don't
it's
know.
the same
See,
team.
I can't tell
just
you.
like
I
Phil
really can't tell
inherited
you
the same Laker
how
team.
I can't tell you though. You would have to explain this to me. How much of a factor was Michael Jordan in '89?
He was the only factor.
He was that good
Phil
still?
Jackson, he was the only factor. That's the problem. Phil Jackson got him to trust his team. Let Scotty be Scotty. Let Horace be Horace. Let
Right, but
Bill
did those other players, did they just peak the next year though? Or did
I really think Phil had a lot to do with
you do?
Jordan.
You do.
Understanding that Jordan, before Phil came, Jordan was doing everything. Like, Jordan used to get triple doubles I think he got like 16 straight triple doubles.
Right.
I remember watching a game where he just looked at the scoreboard to see where he was in the game. All he was worried about was stats.
Right.
I mean, I heard video of him saying that if I don't win the title, hey, whatever's whatever. And now he's Mr. Gotta win. So,
right.
Back to Phil. My whole thing isn't coaching. I think Phil was a great coach at the end of the day. I feel like if he would have coached the Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe, and Pau Gasol team, they definitely would have been a totally different team than Mike D'Antoni.
Oh.
So,
let's not go there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that an Italian thing?
Oh, no, I hate that guy.
Oh, okay, because he was coach of the year.
I know.
He was coach of the year.
Again,
I think he won in Phoenix, too. My whole thing is...
You can have him.
Phil didn't want this job, but he's got $24 million still coming to him.
Yeah.
I just think...
That was a smart move. But what I'm saying is there's no way he was going to inherit a bum team like the Knicks. There's no chance. Now, here's my thing. If he could have inherited another team with some superstars, you think he would have coached?
What was that? We
Giuliano
got a question which
says,
makes sense.
or did Phil Jackson make those players great? What did they do before or after he didn't coach them?
That's a good question.
It's a good
Kobe,
question.
I think the Jordan team, obviously, you can't talk about because they all left together.
Right.
Which shows that Phil had a serious impact on that team.
Right.
Because that team could have won at least a couple of more. I know you weren't around. You were too young, but what I wanted, you don't realize that 96 team had a chance to play Kobe and Shaq.
Right.
And I wanted that. And that could have been, if they didn't look at this. They could have been like an option, but they hated Jerry Krause so much that they left. I think Phil had a huge difference, at least with the Bulls and the Lakers, because Shaq said it. Like, Del Harris didn't really do much. You were around for the 2000 Lakers, right? Shaq and
Yeah,
Kobe
I was 7, but yeah, I remember.
This guy makes me feel super old. It's like closer to my son's age. But what's your take? You say you have a lot of strong opinions on Phil. Is it the coaching or just his overall attitude?
I just don't like his overall attitude as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't like how he handled the Carmelo situation.
No, that was here the position that he was in within the team.
Yeah,
that's a professional position. That's a position you have to professionally handle. You need to deal with players, personnel, everything with complete class, and you got to make people feel wanted. He didn't do that whatsoever. He actually was detrimental to the team. The team was already bad, and they only got worse. Even with adding better players, they got worse.
Because we're Chicago people, so what we saw with him adding Joe and Derek to the Knicks, we thought like shit. I know I did. I can't speak for you, but I thought like, damn, with a healthy Derek and a healthy Joe, even though I thought Joe was done. Speaking of Joe, didn't you say Kenyon Martin made some comments about him today?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Kenyon Martin said he'll play him for the $72 million. He'll get off the couch right now.
Damn.
He said that him and Steven Jackson feel as though they could still play in the league, but they look at other guys who are making big money and they can't figure it out how they got to where they're at.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Joe is a overrated player?
Joakim?
Yeah.
No. I think his prime is past.
Yeah.
But I do think on the Bulls here's the thing. I think he was a decent basketball player, but he was tremendous at hustling and adding energy to the floor.
Yeah.
And he added so much energy to the floor that even in big games, those big games we were playing in at the time when he was a factor,
Yeah.
it meant a lot to have him out there.
AKA, Tom Thibodeau ran him into the fucking dirt, just like he did Derek.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
And Jimmy's going back to him, but we'll talk about that on another episode. So in essence, Phil Jackson basically got away with a heist. He's going to go back to North Dakota, wherever the hell he lives. He already broke up with Jeannie. And he's just going to, what is he going to do with all that money? Because the Knicks are in disarray. They just made a draft with him. So obviously something happened to the point where he was just like, man, screw this. I ain't going to deal with this crap anymore. Because they just had the draft, and they drafted that point guard out of France.
Right.
So now, what's his name's going to be gone? Because usually a new GM's going to bring in his own guy. And that guy from Cleveland just left. And he might be an opportunity.
I don't see why not. I mean, to be honest, the guy's done a great job.
Yeah.
At Cleveland. It's just crazy.
But it's hard. Like, Cleveland's like, all right, bro, you're the GM for LeBron's team.
Right.
LeBron's pretty much the GM. So,
right.
There's a lot of stuff that New York can do. But I still don't think any front office is worse than ours here in Chicago. But good luck to Phil in his future endeavors. So let's go to Tony. Anthony wants to talk about Bryce Harper and his issues or
I'm pretty excited, to be quite honest.
So how do you do this? How are you on Washington's good this year, right?
Listen, I'm a diehard Cubs fan. A lot of people might get angry right now. A lot of people might say it's too soon. But with Scherzer, Strasburg, 1-2 punch, I think the Nats could. I think you could see them in the World Series this year out of the National League.
That's disrespectful. But go ahead. So explain your point. Well, my point.
I find this bizarre, right?
Yeah, it is.
So here's why I find it bizarre, is because you can look at it two ways, but I'm looking at it one way. I know that for a fact. So about a month ago, he said it would be a dream to play for the Cubs, right?
Okay.
Now we're in a series with them, and they're beating our asses, by the way, right?
They want to get into it.
Then he posts an Instagram photo with him and Chris Bryant, which you could take it as, hey, they both played on the same Little League team out of Nevada. So, they got a strong relationship.
Bryce Harper here.
But what he did was he put a couple of kids from Nevada, blah, 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 and then he hashtagged.
Oh, they are both from Nevada.
And then he hashtagged, we'll be back-to-back again soon, or one day soon.
Basically alluding to the fact that they're going to be the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
So, what's his contract situation? Do you know?
Next year, I believe, he is up for free agency next 2018, I think.
How is Bryce Harper up for free agency?
I think it's because when they signed him, he was so young. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like he's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
But he might not be amazing.
Okay.
So, they kind of just put themselves having him for a couple of years. They'll see how he works. And then get rid of him. But
so are you?
That's crazy though to me. If
the
Cubs get him,
is that possible? I mean, we have all the money in the world.
Oh, it's definitely possible because with the amount of prospects that we also have.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's just put it this way too. We have to start dumping players.
Really, it's that bad?
We have to, because if we don't dump players that we already have, we're not going to win. We need a pitcher.
Wow.
We need a pitcher.
Well, Arrieta's gone, obviously.
And he's not pitching well.
Old man's gone. What's his name?
Lackey?
Yeah.
He is horrendous.
Lackey is lacking.
He's horrendous.
That's 2 spots.
Horrendous. He might be...
So basically, we got Lester and...
Hendricks is my guy.
That's
the professor.
So you got to... Do we have anybody in the pipeline? Pitchers?
We brought up this kid, Eddie Butler, but he's pitching. No, I think he came up too soon. But here's the thing. The thing is, they moved Schwarber down to AAA already.
Thank God.
I think he's going to be the next guy out of here.
Yeah, I mean, him.
I used to think it was Baez.
You did. I was going to throw that at you, but you think somebody's going to really jump off of his? He only really think about it, man. He had a great playoff.
Last
he had
year.
a lot of adrenaline.
2 years in a row, though.
Yeah, but
the thing is this:
171.
That guy is strictly a DH.
Yeah,
he is watered down Big Papi 2.0.
I can see Boston or New York giving up for him.
Absolutely.
In a second.
Absolutely. Those would be my candidates.
I mean, I never thought they would give up Soler. They gave him up for a bag of peanuts.
Thank God they got rid of him.
You know, so at the end of the day, you are right. They are stockpiled to the max with guys. So now it's time to just say, screw it. Are we going to win or are we going to bullshit and keep up with the same team to see what's going on? You know? But I could see Bryce Harper here in the Chi-Town. He just slides right in with no problem.
Oh, yeah, he's got swagger, yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to see him on the team. Still young, still good.
Did you hear the Jake Arrieta interview about the fight?
No.
Yeah, Jake Arrieta pretty much said he's like, dude, like
someone to come off.
Yeah, he's like, I enjoy seeing that. They were talking about the Harper fight against, I forgot who they were playing. But he ran to the mound. He took a couple, too.
He did eat two in a row.
He ate two, but he gave two.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like Arrieta said, basically, it's like the machismo thing. Like, if I'm going to throw inside, if a dude's coming, he wants his catcher to be like, you stay back, let me get a few in before everybody jumps in. You know, that's how he was on the Spiegel and Golf.
The Shady
Golf was like, bro, you're gangster as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's how you feeling. But at the end of the day, you know, you're a pitcher that comes out every 5 days. You want some action. You know, so if a guy wants to rush to the mound, let me give him a piece of this. And that's what Hart, but let me give you the devil's advocate. If I'm Theo Epstein, do I want Chris Bryant running to the fucking pitcher on some tough guy shit, swinging his fucking hand at a skull?
Yeah. Breaks his hand.
All right. Then what? But the rules are the same in hockey and baseball. They let you go until somebody feels like it's, you know, it happens. In basketball, can't happen at all. Football, nope. But these two sports, which are, I can't say hockey is not physical, because it is, but baseball is the least physical, I would say.
Yeah.
How are you as a GM cool with that? You know?
Especially they're making the most money.
Yeah. Like, my stomach is dropping if I'm watching Bryce Harper run to the mound swinging. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Is he? Yeah, he's going at it. Oh, he just took something to the face. You know? And what if this guy's psycho? Remember that guy with a bat? You don't know who you're fighting.
No.
So,
right.
Teams have to be...
Remember Kyle Farnsworth on the Cubs?
Yeah, that motherfucker
He was a double-A king.
Dude, he fucked that dude up, man. Dude. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Lastly, let's go into... I think it's a huge trade. I don't know how you feel, but my thing is this. Chris Paul, someone just, I think it was Dan Dakich for ESPN just said that he literally said it like this.
I got to stop you.
Okay.
The Bulls just extended their qualifying offer for Joffrey Laverne.
Dude. Like, I was trying to stay away from these fucking guys. This is what John Paxson does. And we'll get to CP3 probably. John Paxson will look into your fucking opticals in the fucking TV and lie with no freaking problem. Joffrey Laverne? Really?
That guy spent about as much time on the court as us this year.
We traded Taj Gibson, who was at the MVP Awards the other day. Dan, what's his name? He's not really doing good right now.
Doug McDermott?
Dougie McDermott, thanks, producer.
Doug McDermott. He's struggling.
We traded them.
Cameron Payne.
For a can of paint, not Cameron Payne, a 6-piece nugget and sweet and sour sauce. That's what we traded. We traded 2 freaking players for that. That shows you, like, do you remember this interview? When John Paxson said, hey, we're not going to ever trade Jimmy. Jimmy's a top 3 player in the league. We're not going to trade Jimmy. Looking at you like he just knew you from when you were a child. Hey, we're not going to trade. Are you serious? Jimmy? No. And you know what pops on my phone? Jimmy Butler traded to the who? Tibbies. Do you know the story about Jimmy? That right before he signed his contract, they said they were going to give his minutes to, what's that big, black, ugly motherfucker that we traded to Milwaukee? The guard. He's a forward, actually. Had braids, then he cut them. Ugly son of a bitch.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Who?
Frick.
I hate him. Tony
Snell.
Tony Snell. They said, you know what, Jimmy? If you don't sign this extension, we're going to give your minutes to Tony Snell. And then we'll see how much money you're going to get in the open market when you return to free agent. That's what Garpax told him. So Jimmy told everybody this, right? And Tom Thibodeau said, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going to give Tony Snell's minutes. Jimmy's going to play. So that's why he's loyal to Tibbs to the
As he
point
should
where,
be.
yeah, he should. You know, there's not a lot of coaches like that. There's a lot of coaches like Jeff Hornacek that says, okay, I'll run a triangle, Phil. You're not a triangle guy. Why would you run a triangle? Come on, man. Like, at some point, you got to have some type of balls, you know? So at the end of the day, that's what the Bulls did. We just signed Joffrey Levert.
And the Timberwolves aren't done yet. You see that today?
Well,
They're going after Kyle Lowry now.
damn. Yeah, because they're trying to get rid of
I'll tell you right now.
Ricky.
Kyle Lowry, Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler,
Ooh.
Gorgie Dang, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Ooh. Hey. And they got money for...
It's a Western
Better
powerhouse.
watch out. Because...
The Rockets, they could have Chris Paul. They won't do
Yeah.
shit.
All right,
to the
back to
Timberwolves.
that. So this is my thing with the trade, and then we'll go to... Actually, you start, and then I'll say what I have to say with this trade.
All right. So here's how I see the trade, right? Chris Paul's old as hell. He's still playing well. He's old, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is essentially what
You
just
got
happened.
hurt again this year, right?
Yeah.
Missed like a month.
Chris Paul, James Harden,
Yep.
Trevor Ariza, right? Then you got Ryan Anderson,
Then you got the only guy that's going to benefit from the trade.
Clint Capella, the only guy who I think will benefit with Chris
Nene's
Paul on
done.
the floor. Yeah, and then he's like off the bench, but then see, here's
They
the thing
did
though.
win, though.
What they just did though is they got rid of one starter who
Pat
actually
Beverly.
spreads the floor,
And plays D.
who spreads the floor and plays D better than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has the outside ability. Chris Paul has an outside J, but Beverly's better from the perimeter, and that's what that team lived and died by last year. They hit the most, I believe.
Yeah.
Then you get rid of Lou Williams, who was great off the bench, and then Sam Decker. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, he's
but,
a shoelace.
But basically, essentially, you got rid of one starter for one starter and a real key bench player, and then you lost on the defensive end, which everybody knows the Rockets cannot give up any room on the defensive end, especially with their coach, who is the worst defensive coach. I don't care if he won Coach of the Year. He's the worst defensive coach
Wow.
in the league, right next to Fred Hoiberg. Him and Hoiberg are like, they're neck and neck right now.
Still keeps getting jobs.
Horrible.
Still keeps getting jobs.
He's horrible.
He's coached like 4 teams, right?
Oh, yeah. Suns,
Phoenix,
Lakers,
New York.
and the Rockets.
I thought he had one more.
He probably
But,
does.
Yeah. Still keeps getting bank.
But they lost out defensively, and they went away from their identity of a team last year.
Okay. But they won a lot this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Because they were knocking down the three this year.
I know, but James Harden was pretty much their point guard.
And guess who was the point guard?
James Harden.
Exactly. And guess who's not the point guard this time around?
James Harden. This is the thing. If you watch Chris Paul, he dribbles a lot.
Oh.
Chris Paul needs the ball. Now, so what is James Harden doing? Waiting?
Oh,
Watching?
I'm
I don't
telling you
even
right
know.
now,
I don't think he's happy with this trade.
That's gonna be. Oh, he's happy with it. He was campaigning for it. Yeah.
Why though? All right, maybe so he can
Unless
shoot more?
unless he's gonna step back in his role of shooting the ball 40 times a game.
I doubt that.
I doubt it too. So I don't know why he would, be engaged in this happening. But I mean, I'm telling you, I don't see this team benefiting that much from this trade.
Yeah. How do you think they'll be in the West though?
As far as seed, or
Yeah, where were they seeded at this year? Like third.
yeah, third or fourth, right?
They were pretty high. Those them, yeah. I think they were right after the Spurs, and that's all with. And they bust our ass when they came here. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Interview. So, at the end of the day, man, like, we'll talk about this soon, but Chris Paul is Chris Paul. Now I think he's on his third team. So he's like one of those dudes that I call has a short shelf life.
I gotta be honest. If I was Chris Paul, I would be pounding my agent to get me back in New Orleans.
Why?
Why not? Chris Paul with Davis and Cousins? That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. That would be a beautiful team.
I forgot Cousins. That's what they need as a point guard.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? That doesn't mean shit because he was traded today.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, we're going to be back this Saturday at 10:45
Yes, sir.
live, and then there on after. We just wanted to throw this show out because we missed this past weekend. So coming up on the next few episodes, we're going to obviously get some more basketball in, talk a few other things. Thanks to our sponsors, if you can see the Beatles t-shirt.
We like to thank the Beatles.
Yeah.
We also like to drink Perrier.
See, this too.
Delicious.
You had a comment that said
I got my
hot shirt.
red. Yeah, I said that's why I was like, my shirt is here. But I got my red drink cup.
Solo Cup, thank you as well. We like to thank G2 Ballpoint Pen.
Yeah. This guy.
Sharpie.
Yeah. Thank our executive producer Dylan for Anthony and Dion. That's ECSports. We appreciate you guys. See you soon.